It took a couple weeks of convincing, but my parents finally allowed me to stay in Maple Valley for the weekend. After my DUI, it was hard for them to let me out of their sight, but I had finally gained a bit of trust back, so they were willing to give me a chance. We lived in Ellensburg, but my dad was a cop in Seattle, so he dropped me off in the valley one Friday evening on his way to work. We pull up to my friend John's house, a close buddy since junior high. My dad reminds me to stay out of trouble. I shrug it off and hastily say goodbye and watch his car shink down the driveway. John had gotten his start in the weed game early on, dominating the teenage market in our area, but a new pill had hit the scene that would change our town forever. I'd been prescribed Percocet for a year after my first back surgery, so I was no stranger to painkillers. But Oxycontin was something different. People weren't quite fiends yet, but everyone was doing it, and John had the best connect. Before I could walk inside, John was already coming out. "You're late, dude. I gotta meet someone," he said as he walked down the stairs to meet me. "My bad, brother. There was a little traffic on 18. We hopped in his truck and took off for the night, 3-6 Mafia blaring on the stereo. "Where are we heading?" I asked as we flew down a rainy back road. "I gotta meet my guy, then we're heading to Allen's for a bit." We snaked down Arcadia and turned off on a gravel road, pulling up to a moss-covered house in the trees. We knocked on the garage side door, the rain muffling the music inside. A tall older guy opens the door, shakes John's hand, and lets us in. Marlboros and weed smoke fill the air. I look over to the couch and see a few more shifty characters staring back. A pistol, some pills, and a pile of coke on the table. "Pellz?" one of the guys says to me as he stands up. "Holy shit, Shelby. I ain't seen you forever, dog. How you doing?" "Good, little homie. What the fuck y'all up to?" "Nothing, just here with John." John and the other guy stepped to the back of the room. I'd known Shelby since middle school, but hadn't seen him since he dropped out. He was known for trouble, but was always cool to me. It was evident that time had changed Shelby, and just because he was cool towards me did not mean he was to be fucked with. These boys clearly didn't play. "That's yours?" I pointed to the coke on the table. "Yep," Shelby responds. "You trying to get some?" "Yeah, let me get a quarter." I didn't have much money, but I knew if I brought it back to Ellensburg, I could easily double up and start hustling again. "Make sure you cut that shit, bro. It's just fire." I stuff it in my pocket just as John start walking back. "Y'all trying to smoke a blunt?" the tall guy asked me and John. "I'm down," I said. "I'm talking to them. Who the fuck are you?" "Josh. What's your name?" "None of your fucking business." The room goes silent. He breaks it and starts laughing. "Chill, dude. I'm just fucking with you. It's Colin." He reaches his hand out. Josh Pellz?" "Yeah. Oh shit, I think we went to school together. I was a grade older than you." Colin would later become one of my closest friends I ever made in that life. More on him later. I was trying to get a little cash in my pocket for food since I had just spent every last dollar I had on blow. I start texting a few people and found a buyer and some kids the grade below. John clearly annoyed I was taking customers that I could have gave to him. I get a text that they're waiting at the end of the road. I scrambled to weigh out a couple grams to hustle down to meet him. Colin looks at me laughing. "You ever sold dope before? You don't jump to meet them. They jump for you. Make them bitches wait." He tells me to sit down and finish the blunt. I laugh it off and get up to go. His mood shifts. I said sit down. I sit down and get quiet. We finish up and I quietly excuse myself to meet my people. I light up a Newport and make the late night rain walk the few blocks down to the gravel lot off the main side of the road. I see a car filled with people, the dome light on like a beacon for police. I run up. "Yo, what the fuck you doing? Turn that shit off." "My bad, bro," the driver says as he hops out the car and pulls me to the side out of earshot. "Yo, you got any more of that shit?" he asks quietly. "I do, but like I said, it's 60 a G because it's uncut. How much more you need?" "I'll buy the 2 I came for, but will you front me another 2? They're gonna want more in like an hour, so I'll make your money back no problem." "That's cool. I just need it by tomorrow though." "Cool." I grab the money and send them on their way. By the time I get back to John, he's ready to roll, so we say our goodbyes and start heading towards Allen's. We get a little down the road and John turns down the music. "Don't be selling shit at this party. These are my clients." Completely caught off guard, I instantly agree. I honestly couldn't blame him. This was just the rules to the game. I was new and quickly learning, but still had a long way to go. We pull up to Alan's, cars parked down the block. John grabs his bag and we make our way inside. Like a high school reunion, everyone is there. Ex-girlfriends, old homies, and people I'd never seen, all out doing their thing on a Pacific Northwest night. I walk to the counter and say what up to Alan. He's in the middle of cutting a fresh line on a plate. I shake his hand as he lifts a $100 bill to his nose and leans down to sniff, comes up coughing. "You ever tried Coxie before?" He laughs and taps me on the arm sarcastically. "Try this shit, bro." He hands me the bill and points to the line on the plate. "What is it?" I said timidly. "Coke and Oxy, genius," he replied. "Do it. Don't be a pussy." He smirks at the people standing near us. I lean down and sniff the whole thing and pull back stoically. It wasn't peer pressure, I would say. I was genuinely curious. I was, however, completely outside of my depth. The drip hit me almost immediately, with a surge of euphoric pleasure. The mixture of cocaine, opiates, and testosterone made me feel unstoppable as I floated around the party, offering lines to girls to feel significant, desperate to solidify my manufactured image as a bad boy. I go into the backyard and randomly see Colin. "Yo, what the fuck you doing here?" Before he could answer, I hear commotion and see flashing lights coming up the back. I turn around and Colin is gone, already hopping the fence. I run inside to find John. Someone yells, "Police!" People scramble. Before I know it, the police have somehow made their way inside and we were surrounded. They rounded about 10 of us up in the living room and slowly started searching us one by one. A chill ran down my spine when I realized I still had 4+ grams in my pocket and my turn was quickly coming up. I look all around me for a way out and notice they didn't turn the overhead light on. I quickly grab the bag from my pocket and toss it in the dark corner behind me. My turn comes and I fully expect him to step on it and bring my world crumbling down. But he didn't. He moved on. A few got MIPs for weed and alcohol, but ultimately they didn't find any hard shit. This would become a regular weekend in the valley. Just a bunch of middle-class kids on a collision course that no one could have predicted. My pops picked me up early that Sunday morning to make the 100-mile journey back home, unknowingly trafficking the remaining 4.5 grams of pure back with us. And just like that, I was back in the game, while at the same time making my own father an accessory to my crimes.